In modern medicine, an advanced Alzheimer's diagnosis carries a bleak certainty. It is treated as a one-way street of continuous decline. Because of this, current late-stage therapies are purely supportive. Medical professionals focus on comfort and symptom management, as there is no established path for meaningful recovery. This approach relies on a specific biological assumption. If a patient loses the ability to speak, walk, or care for themselves, it is because the underlying neural tissue responsible for those functions has been physically destroyed. Based on this consensus, the system focuses on the slow fading away of the patient. There is little effort to restore what the disease has presumably erased. In 2026, researchers published a case report detailing an octogenarian Japanese-American woman with a 10-year history of progressive Alzheimer's. Over the 5 years leading up to the report, her cognitive state collapsed. Her verbal communication had shrunk until it was almost entirely monosyllabic. Physical autonomy disappeared as well. She required full caregiver support to walk, and for half a decade, she had lived with chronic urinary incontinence. Clinical records described her as having a flat affect. Spontaneous social interaction with her family, something that once defined her, had vanished. By every metric used in modern neurology, the person she once was appeared unreachable, hidden behind a decade of neurodegenerative damage. Faced with this total decline, her family and medical team authorized an experimental intervention. They administered a high oral dose of 5 grams of psilocybin-containing mushrooms. The immediate reaction was not an awakening. Instead, the high dose induced an acute physiological shock to her system. She began sweating profusely, showing clinical signs of hyperthermia. Following this autonomic response, she fell into a prolonged, deep sleep-like state. For several hours, she remained unresponsive to external stimuli. During this window, the researchers were in uncharted territory. They could not be certain if the intense dose had caused permanent harm or if it would have any effect at all. 19 hours after the dose, she unexpectedly woke up. The cognitive shift was immediate. She began speaking in full sentences, initiating an autobiographical conversation about her past that lasted for several hours. Over the following week, clinicians tracked her physical recovery. Independent walking returned by day 2. By day 3, she was dressing herself without assistance. By day 6, she regained urinary continence. It was a milestone that reversed 5 years of chronic failure. Her emotional state shifted as well. She expressed complex emotions, maintained eye contact, and explicitly told the clinic staff, "It is pleasant to come here." These gains across motor, cognitive, and social domains represented a multi-domain recovery that directly contradicted the expected trajectory of the disease. This intervention is not a cure. The physical plaques and tangles that define Alzheimer's pathology were still present in her brain. Instead, it changes network behavior. Psilocybin reorganizes large-scale brain dynamics via serotonin receptors. This process, cortical desynchronization, disrupts rigid neural patterns. Breaking these patterns allowed degraded networks to suddenly reintegrate and communicate across the damaged gaps. Effectively, the psilocybin acted as a temporary neurobridge, allowing signals to route around the physical damage that had blocked them for years. While this is a single case, its implications for how we view dementia are significant. It raises the possibility that the functions and memories seemingly lost to neurodegeneration are not always physically destroyed. These abilities may be dormant, trapped by the disease, and waiting for a specific shift in network activity to bring them back online. It suggests that even in late-stage disease, a person's core identity can remain intact, waiting for the right conditions to reconnect.